Okay, welcome back to Sub's Choice. This is the post-production video for the watch I shot together with Max. I will link to that video up here. And you asked for it, and now you got it, okay? And how do we start? Well, coffee, stylus, pen. That's all you need for this. Photoshop and also Helicon focus. We did a focus stacking. And if you see here, I have all these photos that we took. It's 43 images, and I started from down here, and then I tried to get everything in focus, switching the focus. I'm switching the focus to get everything in focus. All these shots we should drag into Helicon focus. Where are you? There you are. I just drag them. Drag them. And they end up here. This software is, how much was it? I think I paid around $100. It's not super cheap, but if you're using it a lot, of course it's worth it. It's a bit better than Photoshop, I noticed, for some images. Now they're in all 43. This program has different methods, and I should say I'm not expert on this software, but let's try the just for standing default on method A. Produces smooth transitions and preserve, what did it say? Preserves colors. Maybe you can always play with this radius and smoothing, these settings, but let's just hit render, because this will take a while. 43 raw images plus 30 megabyte each, so this process will take a while. What should we do now? Maybe some coffee. So what should I talk about now? Should we just speed it up, or should I... Wacom. Maybe we should go to B&H Photo and I will search for Wacom, see what they have. I have this one. There are cheaper alternatives than Wacom, but they are the best, I guess. This is a huge one. This is the one I have. Kind of the large, yeah. But there are medium, they go down in price. The small, quite expensive, but they also have, they have these smaller ones. I think they work as well. Because you need to have this when you're retouching, because if you're using a trackpad or a mouse, it will be too rough. So you should really get a tablet. Okay, how is it going for the Helicon? Soon 50%. Let's speed this up, I think. Okay, now we're back. Now Helicon focus stacked the images together, it looks like. Can we look at it a bit bigger? And it looks like she did a good job, except this area I see. Blurry, no texture. Maybe this is my fault actually. I should not blame the software. And this, I wish it was a bit sharper, like this. But probably you can go in. It all depends on how good you took the images, how small increments you managed to get all the areas in the shot perfectly sharp, you know. Maybe I didn't hold my breath good enough. So, and it also can be the software, and you can try these other methods and you can play with this radius and smoothing set. But we don't have time for this today. This is good enough for now. And then I go to save. Export. Let's export this guy. Final shot stacked. I don't know why I'm screaming. What I also should do, I should let's go back to rendering window and let's go back to these two guys. The loom shots. One, I set the focus here, so all this area is in focus. And then the other one, I set it in the center, so it's more sharp up here, these figures. The Lumi Blue, let's take these two. I use the same method, A, and then I render these two guys and see if you can stack them together. Then we take the stacked two loom shots, that image, and try to... Okay, now it's ready. It looks nice, because now we're only focusing on the dial, yeah? The Lumi Blue. So fun to say this word, Lumi Blue. Save, Lumi Blue, save. And let's go to, where are we going? We can go to, should we drag them to final shot stacked Lumi Blue? These two guys should go into I know many of you using Lightroom. I also use it a lot, but not for this kind of... There's really no reason to send them to Lightroom. First you shoot, capture one, export. Now we export them to Helicon Focus and then into Lightroom and then into Photoshop. I don't know the reason for this really, so but now we're doing it anyway. We can see if we can we want these two guys. Find a shot, stacked Lumi Blue. Import these two guys, please. And let's go to this one and see. Go to the develop tab and yeah, what you can do if you know, you can always go through everything. See, I want some more contrast. I want to fill out the shadows or highlight the whites. I mean, take down the black or whatever. Or maybe you want some clarity, or you want less color, more color, you know, you would like to put in a curve sharpening. I would like to do at the end when I have retouched the final shot in Photoshop is retouched and everything is done, then I put on the sharpening, always last. I don't see that we need to do anything in for this raw image in Lightroom. Maybe this area, it's a bit dark here. Maybe we can do some, I use this tool, adjustment brush, and then I put up the exposure and I will paint just to make this area a bit, tiny bit brighter maybe. Ground. And what we can do, we can go to range mask, luminance. And here we can decide if you only want to affect the, not the highlights, then we can drag it down, then it will only lift the shadows and we can smoothen it out a bit. Because if I wasn't that, I didn't paint that perfect and I hit outside and in this bright area, then it can be good to dial it down so it only will affect the shadows, the darkest part. Something like that, a bit brighter. Let's go for that. Escape. And now what I could do, I could start, because there is a lot of cleaning that needs to be done, you know, a lot of dust and all. I could do this in here in Lightroom, but I prefer to do it in, because we would do more stuff. I mean, I can just start to clean it up in here in Lightroom. But let's right click and edit in Photoshop. Let's put it into Photoshop and see what we can do. There we go. Now we're in Photoshop, and let's bring in also the loom shot. Edit in Photoshop. We have both images open, the stacked one and the Lumi Blue. So let's mark this. Command A, Command C, copy. Let's close this loom and paste it onto our stacked, and they are not aligned perfectly. So mark 2 layers, go to edit, auto align layers, auto, boom, okay, hopefully he did a good job. Yeah, and then I click on the loom. Maybe I should be a bit Lumi Blue, and here we have the stacked. So let's mark the Lumi Blue and go to let's go to the, do you hear the plane? By the way, I need to mention this eye. I got some kind of infection. I think it's this one, or maybe it's that one, so you don't freak out. It's just some kind of infection, I don't know. Probably I will survive. Where were we? Mark the Lumi Blue layer, go to mask, hit Alt, click the mask. This will hide this image because the mask is black. So then I hit B for brush tool and make sure I have white in the foreground color, because then when I paint on this black mask, I paint white, then this picture will be revealed. If I paint with white now on this mask, see the loom, so if we click Alt and click on the mask, now we can see what we painted. So this is this area, and this was, if I only, you know, now I'm only showing the Lumi Blue layer, and under it we have the stacked one. So let's paint in the loom. This, that. I'm not that exact now, but you will get the idea. And on the very beautiful color, like teal, green, blue, teal blue maybe. My favorite color, teal blue. So, okay, let's take a look so we didn't miss anything? No, it looks okay. So now we have the loom in. Let's crop it. I don't like to see this transparent background. So what shall we do? Well, I think we should start with cleaning up the whole picture. If we zoom in, you see all this dust, and which you really... Then I create a new layer, and then I click sample all layers, and then I click J. That is the spot healing brush tool. And if you hold down Shift and then you click J, it will go around, and there's many different. This is a patch tool, but today, and this is a healing brush. This is a spot healing brush. This we will use the spot healing brush, because then you just paint on the picture and all the dust will just disappear. So I think we should speed up this process, because this will take a while. I will clean the whole surface and everything up, and then we will come back. Normally I put on the adjustment layer, curves layer, and then I pull up, and then I will see better where I need to clean up stuff. It's just, I go back to my, this is the, what should we call this? Spot healing brush. This is the spot healing brush. If I just, you see, when I only showing this is all the spots I cleaned up. But I put on this curves layer to see better where I need to clean. So now we're on the dial, and then I will fix a bit more. And when it comes to the watch, I see here we have a bit of reflection from something. We will take care of that. Now when I have this curves layer, you see that we see it a bit better. And I also see now this Lumi Blue layer, you see it's a bit different. You see around here, it's a bit darker. It's a bit more, it's sharper actually. I'm wondering, maybe we should, let's turn off these curves. I think we should not only paint in the loom, I think we should use this layer for the whole face of the watch. So I will do that. Now I will paint in, because then we will get a bit more texture. I think it's actually sharper. Let's go for this. Then I can click Alt and click on the mask to see where I missed. Sure, I paint the whole face like that. Yeah, let's go for that. And then we go back to the spot healing brush layer, and let's start clean up the dial, the most important part. Normally, when I do pictures for clients, I spend a lot of time on this cleaning. Everything has to be absolutely perfect. Probably I spend at least 1 hour just cleaning the whole picture from dust and imperfections. But now we need to speed up this process a bit. I can put back the curves layer, and then we will see a bit better what we're doing, where we need to clean. It's a bit out there. Okay, I think this will be good enough for now. Let's kill this curves layer, and yes, this looks nice. Hello kids. What can we do? What do we need to improve? Yes, this area, this doesn't look nice. A bit reflection from something. And now I see I need to fix this with the spot healing brush. So how to fix this? What about the Lumi Blue layer? Okay, this is better, but it's a bit darker maybe. Will this work? Yes, I just used the Lumi Blue layer to cover this reflection, okay? What's next? Let's create a new layer, and I would like to, if we go close on this date windows, we can, we hit the P key and the pen tool, and I will make a selection. Actually, I will make a path around this area. And then I click up here, selection, I just hit OK. And then now I have this selection. Then I go into, put on the adjustment layer, a curves layer. If I just pull up, we can pull up the brightness a bit. I just want it to be a bit more, it's a bit dark down there, like this. So yeah, it's a bit nicer. And what next? This is called the bezel on the watch. And on the outside of the bezel, there is, this area is, I think it's shiny. That's why we have this straight line, this sharp edge, and that indicates that it is a shiny That's how you can show how material on the watch is shiny, not matte like all the rest. What we can do, it's a bit like to do something with this, and what we can do, we can cheat a bit, and let's create a new layer, and then I hit P for the pen tool, and then we zoom in, and then we can create a path at this area like this. I just want to make a selection from, maybe I should not, this pen tool can be a bit complicated, but I don't think I will go into this today, how it works. It will take too long, maybe another day, rainy day. There are many good tutorials on YouTube where you can find. Let's see, did we get a nice... Now we have created a path, and let's go up to selection, 1 pixel. Okay, now we have a selection of this area, and now we can do whatever you want. You can, if you want to, maybe we will take a brush, and then we can, if you want to paint this black, we hide the selection. Maybe you think this looks nice. It's actually a bit like this, but the watch is so dark anyway, so maybe we should do something else. Undo and Command H, and then I can hide this selection. What can we do instead? Well, I was thinking maybe we should use the gradient. If you choose the gradient tool and then you double click up here, then you will get into this mode, and then you can double click the starting point, and then you sample this color, the dark one, it's totally black almost. Hit OK, and then you go to the center, and then you choose, I'm choosing a bit brighter blue one, and double click on this end, and then I sample this color up here, and then OK. And then we have this style from dark to bright to dark. And when I now have a new layer there, maybe we should call this gradient front bezel, and then when if I hold down there and then I drag over to this area, and then I will hide this, and this is what we will get from dark, bright, then it fades off to gradients, like cheating a bit to make this area look nice. I'm wondering if this this color is a bit too. I will do undo, and then I go back, and maybe we should make it a bit brighter, but also at the same time not that blue, maybe more like grayish. Let's try that one. Okay, then I drag again. Yeah, maybe a bit better. And as you see, we can, if I do undo, if I starting like here and drag, all this area behind where I dragged will be totally black. And then we get the gradient up here, yeah? And I don't know where it will look nicest. This area is darker, so I think it's nicer to have this brighter part down there. So let's do undo, and then I will, what happens if I drag from here? It comes up there. So let's do it something like, yeah, maybe a bit, that's kind of nice. Yeah, let's go for that one. And if you zoom in, the edge, we put 1 pixel radius to make it a bit, maybe we can blurry make it more blurry, go into blur, Gaussian blur, be on this layer. And here we have a preview, maybe just another pixel, there you go. And I also like to put on, to make it more realistic, I put on a bit of noise, just a tiny bit, not too much, with. You see it's starting to be a bit, so it blends in with the watch more natural way. Yes, there we have a bit of what we can do. We can, if I put on adjustment curves layer and then I pull up, the whole picture will be brighter. But if I hit this icon here, then it will create this arrow down, and this curves layer will only affect our gradient front bezel. And then when I pull up, you see it will only affect this area, but this is a bit too much. Then we can dial it in exactly how much we want it, something like that maybe. So what's next? These two guys, I Command G, I will create a group for this. This is normally nothing that I will do, just I wanted to show you something with this watch, what you can do. You can fake a bit if you had a problem like we had to get light on this side. So to fix this outside bezel to make it a bit nicer, okay? This cloud effect on this crystal, maybe it's not enough. Maybe you would like to do a bit more. Then I will create a new layer, and then we can go with the pen tool again, and then I will create like, make a selection, and then we go to gradient white, and then I will drag something like that. Can make it a bit softer, blurry with Gaussian blur, so the edge will be something like that. Yes, there we go. It will pop out a bit more, and if you feel that it's too much, you can always go to opacity as usual and see where we will end up. I think maybe around there will look good, yeah? The cloud effect. And yeah, this is the before after. And I think I'm happy. I'm happy now. It's kind of nice. So that's how you cheat in Photoshop, okay? Well, I don't know if we need to do anything else really. I think I'm quite happy. Okay, I think this is it. Full screen, there we go. Okay. There we have the final image. I hope you enjoy this a bit. It was a bit, first time I go forward and back and testing out a lot. And normally I don't do anything in Photoshop. I just clean it up and put a bit of contrast, maybe adjust the colors a bit or something. Okay, this is it for today, and I will see you next time.